That's him and Kelly.
See, when she was at that show, at the live show, and everybody was like, why is she there? And she was like, I was just there.
Yeah, right.
Lies I am detecting.
Yeah, lies and deceit. But at least Barb approves.
Well, who cares if Barb approves?
Apparently, Peter.
I'm like, come on, bro. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, it's not like I thought him and Madison were gonna like make it work. And obviously he should not have proposed to Hannah Ann because I mean, like, what, a day earlier he was like, no, I'm in love with Madison. I'm like, well, clearly you should propose. Then he just was like, nope, it's Kelly. I'm like, what?
No, it was Hannah Ann.
What?
Kelly, he picked Hannah Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand him. This is why we shouldn't watch that show.
I know. It's why we shouldn't have started going to the gym.
I don't know about that.
We hadn't started going to the gym, we wouldn't have started watching The Bachelor.
That is true. That is true.
Well, now we can't go to the gym anyway, so.
No. But we can still wax poetic about our favorite reality shows.
Yes. Which is what today's episode of Our McWorld is about.
Yay!
I got the name in there that time.
Good job. We didn't put it in until the end of the last episode we filmed, so nobody knew what they were watching the whole time.
What is this? Yeah, so today we're going to do another list because, lists are fun of our favorite reality shows.
I can't find my list.
Which is...
I found it.
Okay. Not The Bachelor, by the way.
No, The Bachelor is not even an honorable mention.
No. Which we only watched it one part of one season this past season. But,
And it was like, they say like way too much on that show.
Like they totally do. Like for real.
Like, really. Now we're going to say like a bunch and be mad at ourselves.
When I hear people like, when I say it a lot on TV and stuff, I feel that I then say it too much. And I mean, I'm sure I say it a lot more than I think about, but then I start thinking about how much I say it and I realize, I guess we'll see in this one, how many times we catch ourselves saying like.
Hopefully we will.
I'll try not to.
Okay. Top 10 favorite reality shows. My number 10 is Whose Line Is It Anyway? The show where everything is made up and the points don't matter. The old one, not the new one. No offense to the new people, and I know a lot of them are the old people. But apparently Drew Carey brought a lot more to the show than I realized.
Yeah. I've seen the new one like once and it just wasn't the same. I don't know why. Did I say it already?
Yes. This is going well.
Oh no. Should I keep a tally?
Yeah, sure. What if we say it ironically? That probably won't happen.
No.
Anyway, Whose Line Is It Anyway is neat because it was my first foray into seeing people do improv. And honestly, Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles and Wayne Brady are all hilarious, and Drew Carey. Mm-hmm. And the guests that they would have were all pretty funny, and it was just really cool seeing them do so many different things and just the unbelievable talent.
Yeah. I was always really impressed by the things they could come up with off the top of their heads that were so funny.
Yeah.
I really love Sound Effects was one of my favorite games that they played. That one was really funny.
Yeah, I always liked Scenes from My Hat.
Yeah.
That was good.
My number 10 is Guts from Nickelodeon. I always I wanted to be on all Nickelodeon game shows, but Guts was one of my favorites. And I always thought, especially, you know, when they get to climb up the mountain at the end, I always wanted to climb up the mountain and have glitter follow me. I don't know.
You'd still be covered in glitter to this day.
I know, I'm sure if I look around, I'll find some Valentine's glitter. Oh, look, here's some. Valentine's glitter.
May 2nd.
May 2nd, still finding Valentine's glitter from, we bought these like balloon things and you were supposed to pop them. Two.
Yeah.
Hear it. Anyhow, we bought these and you pop the balloons and this confetti went out. And at first we thought you were supposed to open the package and then pop the balloon, but no, you were really supposed to pop it in the package and then confetti went everywhere. So I'm still finding it.
So depending on how you look at it, maybe you were supposed to do it before or after, because if you did it before, confetti didn't go everywhere, but it wasn't nearly as exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But I loved Guts. And they always played really cool games, and I thought, of course, I think probably all Nickelodeon kids wanted to be on all their shows, and they had other good ones, and some of those are honorable, and some more are on my list, so we'll talk about those later.
My number 9 is baking championship shows on Food Network. All of them, really. All of them where Duff is a judge. Let me say that, because if Duff is not a judge, I'm not interested in it.
Well,
Duff makes the show. So mostly I enjoy it when it's Duff and Nancy from Farmhouse Rules and Lorraine. That's when it's the most enjoyable to me. But I just like to see them baking and all the different things they come up with and the challenges. And most of the time the hosts are pretty good too, but I really like baking shows.
Yeah. My number 9, wait. I did my list weird, hold on. My number 9 is Shop Till You Drop, which is one of the shows I used to watch. It came on in the early afternoon, or mid-afternoon, I guess. So when I got home from school, I would turn over to that channel and watch some shows, and one of them was Shop Till You Drop, where the contestants had to go run around like a little mall setup and grab things and bring them back, and you had to get to I think you had to get to a certain amount to win. You had to be the one, like they would take turns running to try to, go around to the different stores and get things. But that was one of those shows.
Yeah, that was a cool show. I used to like that one too. My number 8 is, I know this is probably number 1 on your list, so spoiler alert, Beat Bobby Flay. Mal doesn't like Bobby Flay. So, Beat Bobby Flay's a cool show, and it's only 30 minutes, so it's not nearly as intense as Iron Chef America and stuff like that. Does that count? No, that was a simile, right? Or metaphor? Simile. Like or as a simile. I don't know if that counts. Anyway.
We both said like as I like something, but I wouldn't count that either.
No, I'm only counting it if it's used in place of a different word or a filler word. Mm-hmm. Okay, back to the story about Beat Bobby Flay. So on Beat Bobby Flay, he gives them a secret ingredient, the two people at the first they have to cook with, and then he takes on their secret dish. So the thing that, well, first of all, when he does their number one dish that the other chefs do, most of the time he beats them, which is pretty good for Bobby. But I think I would be real super bummed out if I was that person and, I know I'm really good at making pierogies or something, and and I do it all day, every day, and then Bobby Flay beat me at it.
Yeah.
I think I'd be really bummed. But I watched that show with my dad, and we really enjoy it, and we guess what we think the secret ingredient's going to be, even though it's totally random. So there's no way we could guess. My hair is nuts. So, but it's just a good show.
I like it when the contestant beats Bobby Flay.
Of course you do. You would.
He loses on Iron Chef and everything else.
No. If Bobby doesn't win, you don't get a cool pun at the end. Bobby does a pun at the end. Get out of here.
Okay, on a food-related note, my number 8 is Cupcake Wars, which doesn't come on anymore, I don't think. They still have Cake Wars and, all that kind of stuff, but I always really just watched Cupcake Wars. I also watch Halloween Wars a lot when it's on at Halloween. But Cupcake Wars, when I bake like cake or something, I usually bake cupcakes. And so I always like to get ideas. And then of course I like, them having this ingredients and they have to try to make something, although sometimes they turned out really disgusting. Like I'll never forget, dang it. I'll never forget when they made because usually they have options. And the person picked like it was some kind of fish and made a fish cupcake with mayonnaise frosting. And I was like, that is the most disgusting thing I have ever heard of in my life. And the judges thought so too. And I thought, if I was a judge, I wouldn't eat it. I'd be like, forget it. I'm not even eating that.
No. No
way. No how. But it was a really good show. It was my favorite food show.
You said I'd be like. Miles are perfect. If anybody's casting for the new season of The Bachelor, Miles ready.
Perfect contestant right here.
Okay, anyway. Next on my list is Of Love shows. All of them. Grouped them together.
Is on my list as well.
Is it number 7?
No, it's number 3.
Whoa. Mostly I'm counting Rock of Love, Flavor of Love, I guess Real Chance of Love, mostly Rock of Love and Flavor of Love, and I Love Money.
I Love Money.
I Love Money was the best one and the most honest, if we're being real.
Yeah. It's still such a bummer to this day.
Yeah. It's not, this is why we don't watch The Bachelor. Because The Bachelor, those people are in it to find love. I am under no delusions that half of these people that came on this show are actually trying to win Bret Michaels or Flavor Flav's heart.
Mm-mm.
They're trying to be on TV.
Yeah, straight up trying to be on TV. At least on, because they had what? Flav had 2 or 3 seasons?
3.
And then they had at least that. They have 3 Rock of Loves? Because one of them was on a bus.
Yeah.
And then all the spin-offs of those, all those contestants, I Love New York, and then Real and Chance actually came off that, and Frank, what was his? The Basement Affair?
Yeah.
Frank the Entertainer. That took place, he lived in his parents' basement, so whenever they brought all the girls in, they all moved into his parents' house.
Yeah, that was wild.
But I Love Money was one of the best because it was, of course, took all of them like they do with other shows and put them all together, and they were trying to win money by competing in various challenges.
Yeah. And then one of the contestants on Megan Wants a Millionaire, which was a spinoff from Rock of Love, went and killed his girlfriend and killed himself. And so then they canceled that show and canceled I Love Money, the season that he was on too. And obviously, he's a major jackwagon, and I'm not trying to be super insensitive, but I kind of feel like shouldn't the other people, like, shouldn't, I said it. Shouldn't they have still ran the show and just tried to edit him out as much as possible?
Yeah, which is what they're doing with another show right now.
Yes, that you will hear about later.
But yeah, it was just, and I understand, why they had to do it, but it was such a bummer. Mostly it was a huge bummer because that was it. That ended the whole thing.
Yeah.
They didn't have any more I Love Money. They didn't have any more of those of love shows of that same group.
No.
They had a few shows with other celebrities who weren't even related to those first 2 at all, but they weren't as entertaining because they weren't nearly as trashy.
No. There has to be an element of trash, or it's just The Bachelor.
Yeah, because on Flavor of Love, one of the girls literally crapped on the carpet. If you don't have that, what do you have?
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah. So,
But those were great shows. Very funny.
Yes, they were. And now, at least, which MTV's sort of bringing it back with Double Shot at Love with Vinny and Pauly. Not quite as trashy, but more trashy than The Bachelor.
Yeah, they will actually like fight, and people on The Bachelor fight, but always. It isn't like they're all out brawling or anything. And
yeah,
at least this season that we watched, they did do a few challenges things, but they used to do like crazy challenges on the love shows to win the dates and stuff. It was crazy stuff.
Yeah. It was way more entertaining. So that was my number 7.
My number 7 is Clean Sweep, which is a show that used to come on TLC where they would they'd take a room, at least 1 or 2 rooms of somebody's house, and it was kind of almost like Hoarders in a way, but it wasn't their whole house. It was usually like 1 or 2 rooms where sometimes you couldn't even get in the room. They had so much crap in it. And Peter was the organizer. I'm pretty sure his name was Peter. And he would come in. He was British or something, but he was really mean. And he would come in and they would take all their stuff out on the lawn and have to separate it into piles of keep, donate, and trash. Then he would talk them through the stuff they wanted to keep and make them get rid of it. Some of the stuff they were holding on to for sentimental reasons that they didn't need. But I always really liked it because I love before and afters of cleaning, like having all this stuff and then having it all cleaned out. I wish it still came on. I wish I could watch the old episodes somewhere, but I've tried and I can't find them.
Oh. Yeah. I felt so, but listen, are British people on reality shows either really mean or really nice?
Yeah.
Hardly anybody's just middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my number 6, probably a very controversial opinion, is Celebrity Apprentice. Because, of course, the head of the show is the current president, Donald Trump. Back when he was just an apprentice guide. What's the people that they're the, what do you call the people that people apprentice for? The master or the expert?
The sorcerer.
I think we'll just call him Donald Trump. So, before Donald Trump was the president, he was firing people on reality TV. And I really only liked the celebrity version because I like seeing celebrities do things that they don't normally do. And also, of course, I have 2 business degrees, so I guess Celebrity Apprentice was kind of in that lane, so to speak. And one time Bret Michaels was on there, so that was cool, and I was going to watch it until he got eliminated, and he made it all the way to the end. I think he might have won. And then one year I was going to watch it until Jesse James got eliminated, and I did, and he got eliminated. He came in 4th, I think, and then I did quit watching it. Not forever, just that season. It wasn't like Chris Sly and American Idol. It was something, So, it was just a cool show, and I enjoyed watching it back in the day. And then they did another one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I watched it too. It was pretty good too. They should do more with Arnold Schwarzenegger or other people.
Yeah. What are we on, 6?
Yeah.
My number 6 is The Voice. The Voice.
It's The Voice.
I still watch The Voice. I started watching it in season 3 or 4, I think. And I've been watching it ever since. And I watch it with my mom every week. And I've now taught her how to download the app and vote. So we each vote and build our own teams and do Insta saves and everything else. It's my favorite singing competition type show out of a couple that there are. But I think it's funny. It seems to be a lot. I mean, I hadn't watched American Idol in a long time, so it might be funny with the new people that are on it. But The Voice has always been so funny, and I was kind of worried when Adam left that it, where would the funny? Because it was him and Blake always. But now that Kelly's on there, like her and Blake are now the ones. And sometimes the other ones get in funny stuff too, but I enjoy watching the coaches interact more than anything. I wish people from The Voice would actually do well. I feel like nobody from The Voice ever makes it big.
No.
I wish they would, because some of them are really good. I was really upset last year about the outcome. But that's a lot of years, I guess. So.
Well, to be fair, not that many American Idols make it super big either.
That's true. They just had a few really big standouts.
Yeah, one being Kelly Clarkson.
But I'm excited. They're apparently going to try to do some kind of live there because they got through the end of the recorded shows on TV and they're supposed to be doing the live shows now, but obviously everything's still kind of shut down. But it sounds like they're going to try to do them from home, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think that's what American Idol's doing. I don't know because I don't watch that show anymore because Chris Sly got eliminated, and that was probably 20 years ago, and I still don't watch it. If you don't have principles, what do you have?
I don't even know the last season of American Idol I watched. It might have been, well, did I even? I watched the season where that Taylor guy won. And I don't remember what order they were all in. Obviously, I saw Carrie Underwood win. That might have been before that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how many more I saw after that, actually.
Probably not many if you were as invested in Chris Sly as I was.
You know that, I think we might have talked about this back then, but you know John Peter Lewis came and auditioned on The Voice and didn't make it.
I know. I watched it. I was obsessed with John Peter Lewis. And our friend Leslie, we were.
Yep.
JPL had 2 fans, and it was me and Leslie. Yeah, when he was on The Voice, he was in a duo.
Yeah.
It was the smallest bee. I'm outside. And a bee about this big came by. A baby bumblebee.
Don't let it you.
Oh. Okay. Number 5, making it.
You might have to say that again. I might have been talking.
Making it. Making It is a craft show run by Leslie Knope and Ron Swanson, aka Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman. And the reason that, first of all, I'm a terrible crafter. I have no dedication, no creativity, but lots of craft supplies. So, I think I watch it to get motivated, but it doesn't work. But the reason that I really like the show and that it's this high up, even though there's only been 2 seasons, is because, well, of course, Parks and Rec is my favorite show, as you know, and that's why I started watching it. But the people on the show are so nice, even the judges, but all the contestants are always really nice. And so it's just a joyful show that's not super competitive and everybody's angry and hateful. And I ain't about that life anymore.
Mm-hmm. I have watched it before. Once. That's pretty good the one time I watched it.
Yeah. Those people are hella creative.
Oh, yeah. They're way more creative than me.
Yeah, me too.
Thinking of things sometimes. I'm like you, I have a ton of craft supplies, but I very rarely craft anything with those supplies.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5 is Legends of the Hidden Temple, which is another Nickelodeon game show. This one I always thought was really neat because they had to do puzzles. And I always had to think about mysteries, and I guess that kind of fit in to where you had to solve it. And then, of course, at the end, you have to run through the temple and try to get to the end. But they had all the different teams, that they had all their cool team shirts, and they had to, do all these other challenges before they could even get to the temple. But that was my favorite game show as a small person, and I love to watch it and always imagine what it will be like. And I watched the movie that they made. That wasn't even that many years ago. I saw it coming on Nickelodeon, and I recorded it and watched it.
And they had a foam pit. I
My-
think.
I've always on it. Or to
Me
jump.
too. Yeah. Blue barracudas for life.
Yep. Had those and the monkeys. Was it green monkeys?
I really only remember the blue barracudas.
There was red, something red.
Iguanas? There was silver or gray one and purple.
Yeah. I don't remember now, but people dress like that at DragonCon sometimes.
Yes, they do. For more about DragonCon, watch our earlier episode that we filmed like 20 minutes ago, and then we went and changed shirts so y'all would think it was a different day, even though it's not.
Yeah. Same day. Sometimes when you have time, you got to make multiple videos.
Plus, I fixed my hair for this one.
Yeah. I had mine braided earlier and I unbraided it. Because I went to bed with it wet and it looked like nonsense.
Hey, you never know. Number 4. My number 4 is the Great British Baking Show. A different baking show from a different continent. But it's better than American baking shows because everybody is nice and they help each other and they're not hateful and it's not, I mean, you watch Chopped and they freaking gonna kill each other over the ice cream machine, and don't try to play like they can't afford another ice cream machine. On Chopped Sweets, same kitchen, 2 ice cream machines.
Yeah, were they keeping that other one the rest of the time?
Right. So, the Great British Baking Show is better because, well, they don't really make ice cream, but if they did, they would have 1 ice cream machine per contestant.
Or each one will be like, no, you use the ice cream machine. I'll do something else.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, they have these ovens and they have the coolest doors. I don't know that really adds to the show, but when you pull the door open, it slides under the oven. So it ain't in your way.
That's nice.
Right? I want that for myself.
I say I need that for my house.
Yeah, it's so convenient.
I almost burned myself like 800 times getting
right? Yeah. So, admittedly, I do think it was better when it was on the BBC with Mel and Sue and Mary Berry, but it's still pretty good now that it's on whatever it's on, and it's got Richmond from the IT crowd and that other lady and that other lady. I don't know their names. Now it's just on Netflix.
Oh, well. Okay, my number 4 is Fixer Upper.
Oh, man. I should have put that on my list.
I like to watch HGTV, and I've gotten into several other shows recently, but Fixer Upper is my favorite, and it's one I watch, and I would record all the new episodes, and I love to see, of course, Chip is hilarious and always up to nonsense, and having his demo day stuff, and then Joe designing all the houses. I really like that farmhouse look that they have in all their houses, and wish that they would come and build me a house. But also, we went to Waco to the Magnolia Market and the silos, and we got to go. We didn't see them, but we went in and got some stuff at the bakery and went into the store and bought stuff and walked around. And we went early, so there weren't a lot of people there, so we got to take some cool pictures and stuff. So anyway, I love that show.
I should probably actually go inside because cars keep coming up the road and making a lot of racket and ruining the show. But right, rude. Don't you know what I'm doing out here on the porch? But yeah, so Fixer Upper should have been on my list. So pretend I didn't say all that stuff about Celebrity Apprentice, and that was Fixer Upper. Because I'll just kick people out the middle of the list. Yeah. Not the bottom, just the middle. You're done. So, no, but Fixer Upper, well, what was really cool, I thought, about the silos was that you could tell that Joanna had put it together, or Joanna-minded people had put it together. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm all about that, and I continue to order things from their website that I don't need, and then, I just got a shipment the other day that I got myself 2 new bags. Why? And I got bags for other people and the new cookbook, Magnolia Table Volume 2. And I got candles. After I swore I would never buy candles off the internet anymore, I did it anyway.
I was not consulted about this before it happened, or I would have said no.
I did tell you, though, after it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are we at number 3?
Yes.
My number 3 is Project Runway. The old Project Runway. That Heidi Klum was the host and Tim Gunn was the mentor. I haven't watched it since it's been, I think it's Carly Kloss and Christian Siriano. But I haven't watched it since they took over. I did, however, watch the new Heidi and Tim show, Making the Cut, but it's not as good as Project Runway. But that's another one of those shows where those people are just super creative, and most of the time I think I don't have a clue as to what fashion is, because this looks like nonsense, but they all think it's good. But the more I watched it, the more I could tell that's going to win or that's going to be in the top, So I just enjoyed it. I watched it for a long, long time.
I never watched it, but you always told me about it, so I feel like I watched it.
Yeah.
Well, my number 3 was Of Love shows, so we already talked about it.
Oh, yeah. My number 2 is Swamp People. So, I love Swamp People. I love these people on Swamp People. So, of course, Swamp People, they go out and hunt alligators. And we're from the South, so we are not against hunting because hunting is a form of population control. And if you do not hunt things, they will take over. And that includes deer. And that includes, for sure, alligators. So, if you want to be eaten by an alligator, then fine, be against it. But they don't do it to drive out the population of alligators on the whole. They do it so that you can live safely and there's not an alligator every time you turn around. So, but I really think, obviously, the Landry family is my favorite. For a while there, I only watched their parts. I just fast forward. Well, them and Bruce and Willie, that's who I watch. Mm-hmm. Pretty much everybody else, I kind of fast forward through their parts. This is why it's good not to watch TV live. But we also went and met Troy and Jacob at the Georgia Outdoor Blast. Mm-hmm. And they were really nice. And then my dad and I actually drove to Pierre Park, Louisiana, which is where they fish and live. And we went to Duffy's gas station, which is where they come in at the end of the day. And Troy and Chase came in with their gators, and we got to meet them and take pictures with them and talk to them and stuff. And so that was really neat. They're all really nice guys, and, they don't seem like famous people. So it's just a cool show. And I also watch Troy go hunt for giant snakes in Florida, and whatever Troy does, I pretty much watch it.
I've never watched that show, I don't think. But I've heard a lot about it as well.
And you met Troy and Jacob.
I did. So I have met some of them, and they were nice when we met them.
Yeah.
Except for you can't understand a lot of what they say. They have accents, but they have serious accents.
Yeah. Well, they're Cajun, so the more you watch the show, the more you can understand them.
Yeah, start picking it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my number 2 is America's Next Top Model. And it almost got moved lower on the list, but it used to be my number 1 last time we made this list. But now it's been a lot longer since I've watched it. It's been, because I thought they came out with a new one.
I think they did.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I watched the old one with Tyra Banks back in the day. And I didn't start watching it from the very beginning, but I watched it for a long time. And I always really liked it. And I liked all the different photo shoots that they did. And when they brought the boys in the house, that was awesome. And I think the last season actually that I watched was where Niall won. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always really liked it, and I thought it was cool to watch them do the different. I did get, of course, like all reality shows, some of the people you're like, ugh.
Yeah. I started watching it when there were boys in the house. And it was the best when there were boys in the house. Also, I didn't watch it before that, so I don't know what.
Here's something that we learned from America's Next Top Model in the season where they had the British invasion was when we went to England back in college, we went with our international business class. They, like, on 2 separate occasions while we were there, people asked us if we were Irish. And we were like, no, we're not. We are Americans. And we thought it was strange, but didn't, because we never thought we sounded Irish. But when we were watching, or I was, but I don't know if you watched that season or not. But
I did watch an episode with you, I think.
Yeah, one of the girls was from Ireland, but sometimes when she talked, she almost sounded like she had a United States Southern accent. It was very strange. And so then I thought, well, maybe we do kind of sound like people from certain parts of Ireland. I don't know. It was really weird.
It was weird, for sure. But yeah, I did enjoy it when there was boys in the house because they were really attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And I like seeing all the photo shoots and stuff too. I actually used to watch a show called Make Me a Supermodel or something. It always had boys in the house, the 2 seasons it was on. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was very successful since it had 2 seasons. But, yeah. So, number 1, or should we do honorable mentions? Because I'm guessing we have the same number 1.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so my honorable mentions are, these were on my list last time, so I'll start with them. They made my top 10 before, were Rob Dyrdek shows. Anything Rob Dyrdek. Rob & Big, Ridiculousness, Fantasy Factory, Rob Sunny. Match Game. Match Game is so good.
Yeah. How good is it?
It's so good. So, Match Game, I know that's an old show, not the new one, the old one with Richard Dawson. And Richard Dawson was a contestant. I know he wasn't the host. Don't at me. I've always wanted to say don't at me. Nobody argues with me so on the internet, so don't at me. Mad Libs and Kids Incorporated. Both of those were Disney shows. Kids Incorporated, I guess it was kind of a mixed show, kind of similar to like a sketch comedy show. Not well, that was kind of a simile. I don't know if it counts. Put it down. So it really wasn't a comedy. They did different sketches. Like it was a sketch show and they did music. And I fell in love with Eric Balfour. But all those were on my list last time. But did make the cut this time. Even though it's kind of one of those things again where I think, should it be on the list? Because I did love it a lot and, I went back and forth. But just a brief rundown of my other ones. The Kitchen, Cutthroat Kitchen, Wild and Crazy Kids, Singled Out, Jeopardy, Duck Dynasty, Zaboomafoo, Supermarket Sweep, Zoom, and Last Comic Standing.
Yes, on my list last time I had Last Comic Standing and Supermarket Sweep both, and they didn't make it this time. But Supermarket Sweep came on before or after Shop Till You Drop. So I watch both of those usually every afternoon. And then Last Comic Standing, because it was funny, even though some non-funny people came off of that show.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I had two more. I'm sorry. Wait. Sorry. Also, Ink Master and Ride with Norman Reedus, because I watch both of them now, and I watched Ink Master. I didn't watch it from the beginning, but I have seen all the episodes. But it's just not, it's too much drama to be a favorite. Okay, sorry, go.
I also had Zoom. Come on and Zoom. I could still mail a letter to Zoom if the P.O. box was still there.
Yep, me too.
And Flea Market Flip, While You Were Out. Also had Mad Libs. Figure It Out, which was another Nickelodeon game show, which they brought it back, I think.
Yeah.
And Family Double Dare, which they brought back, I think, because that annoying girl is the host. She's the host of one of them shows.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think that's annoying.
Don't at her.
Don't at me. She's annoying. And the Singing Bee, which I really liked. I'm kind of sad. They had it and then it got canceled and then they moved it to CMT and then it got canceled again. But
yeah.
It was so much fun. And the last one I think we haven't talked about is The Weakest Link. I used to watch The Weakest Link all the time on Game Show. I actually have Game Show Network now. I didn't used to have it, and now I have it, and I watch. The other day when I was painting my bedroom, I watched Game Show Network all day long and watched an assortment. I watched some old Match Game, everything.
You should also have a channel up in the 600s or 700s. I forget what it's called, but it also shows game shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so number one for both of us, in a complete turn of events for me from Swamp People, is RuPaul's Drag Race.
Start your engines.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
May the best woman win.
Okay. That's both of our number ones.
Yeah.
It's that good.
It wasn't on my list at all last time because I didn't watch it last time we made these lists. And then I started watching it. And now I love it. And I watched it yesterday.
Me too. And today, actually. I did watch the other episode today.
Well, cool.
Yeah. So I'm no Alyssa Edwards, but so I have actually watched RuPaul's Drag Race from the very beginning because I've always just kind of been fascinated by drag queens, and of course didn't know that much about them because, you know, I used to not be as wise and worldly as I am now. So I would see drag queens out sometimes and think, what? But I found out there was a drag competition to find America's Next Drag Superstar, and I was totally in from the beginning, right? But the only channel it came on at the time was Logo, and I didn't have that channel. So I went on their website, and the only way you could watch it, you know, was to sign in with your TV provider. Well, shockingly, Windstream was not an option, which is our TV provider. Yeah. So I clicked on one of the TV providers and it said sign in with Facebook. And I thought, well, I have a Facebook, but I mean, it's going to hook up to something, right? Nope. I scammed that game for years. So the first several seasons I had to watch on the Logo app by somehow loopholing the system with my login. And then finally I talked you into watching it with me and we started watching it. But obviously, first of all, drag queens are amazing.
Yes.
Because I don't even know. I can't even. I put one down. I literally can't even figure out how they do what they do. I can't do my own makeup. I can't even make myself look halfway decent. Much less, you know, their makeup is amazing. They make their own costumes. They can lip sync. They can dance. They're funny. Some of them. Look, everybody ain't Alyssa Edwards or Shangela. We have favorites. Yes, we do. But the shows are awesome. Preaches acceptance. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen up in here?
Amen.
So it's great. You go.
Yeah, I don't even remember when the first season I started watching. It was, I don't know, it's been a while now. There have been several All-Stars. It might have been an All-Stars where like a special type of season like that. But I just really, I like that too. I enjoy it. I like all their challenges they have to do and like seeing them come up with their costumes that they go with on the runway that are usually either like super gorgeous or really over the top. And seeing, of course, how they do their makeup's insane. I've always wanted to try to do my makeup like that just to see how I would look. But
stay tuned.
Yeah.
We're going to try to contour our faces.
Yeah, try to do an episode, follow a tutorial or something online. I'll probably have to go get, I think you have to have highlight stuff.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to buy some stuff first, but that'll be a fun challenge.
It's going to be a disaster.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, definitely have favorites. Alyssa, yeah, and Shangela, and Miss Vanjie.
Miss Vanjie. And right now, this current season, our favorite is Heidi, Aphrodite, or whatever her name is of the week.
Yeah. She's so funny. She cracks me up all the time.
Yeah.
They have, also, like Match Game, they have their own version of Match Game where they all pretend like then do drag of a celebrity, and whoever does, the best job gets, or that counts in towards their final score for the week.
And that's always the best episode of the season and the one I get the most excited about.
Mm-hmm. It's
And the one that everyone should be prepared for, and still they pick people who are not funny.
I don't understand why they do that.
Me neither.
They'll say, and or pick someone obscure, and sometimes, very rarely, it'll work. And most of the time, I think, I mean, if nobody knows who you are, it's going to be harder to make jokes that make sense.
Yeah.
Of course, Gigi pulled off her robot, which when she said robot, and everybody was like, what the crap?
Yeah. Yeah, she did pull it off, and that worked. And then that one year that Jinx Monsoon did the girl from Grey Gardens.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty funny, but we're not big Jinx fans. She's fine. She just wasn't quite my cup of tea.
Yeah, I like the comedy queens a lot. I feel like in the ones, but sometimes they can be a little much. And the ones who are a little bit weird, I don't know.
Yeah, we're not as big into the creepy horror queens as I guess somebody is, or it wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. But clearly, by the favorites we've mentioned, we like people who are funny.
Yeah. And regardless of what we like, the coolest thing about drag is that it's all about revealing who you really are and accepting other people and being true to you.
It can be so emotional watching that show sometimes. I'm like sitting here crying a little bit and they're talking about stuff and I'm like, oh.
That was two. You said it twice in that same sentence. But I'm the same way. The last week's episode that we watched had Jeff Goldblum as a judge, and he was crying for real. But honestly, I was getting a little emotional too. I got a little choked up when Jackie was dancing because she had on her hijab. I hope I'm saying that right. Because she was representing people of the Muslim faith, and she was kind of saying, that it's hard because, of course, so many Americans just hate Muslim people on principle, which is wrong. You shouldn't hate anybody on just because you do. I mean, fictional characters excluded. You can hate anybody you want to. That's just a character on a TV show, a fictional show. But you shouldn't just judge people, obviously, based on what they wear or what religion they are. You don't know if they're a good person or not, but you're proving you're not a good person if you do that.
Yeah, and judging a whole group of people based on a few people.
People are idiots. Mm-hmm. We hate people.
You can hate everyone. Just individual groups of people.
Exactly. But also love everybody, unless they're hateful, then you don't have to. I guess you should still love them and try to get them to love other people too.
Kill them with kindness.
Yes, but still kill them. Just kidding. Don't kill them. Well, that was reality shows. It's been real.
It's been real.
Yep. Creep.
Mom.
Okay, thanks. Supper's ready. I have to go.
Oh, I guess I better go check because I left my brother with all the food and I don't know if he's cooking it or not.
What was he cooking anyway?
Steaks.
I
got some in my Home Chef box and they decided that they wanted to have steaks and I said, well, I have 4 in my Home Chef box. So they went out to get 2 more. So now we're going to eat that. Hopefully they're cooking it because I'm hungry, but.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go eat then.
Oh, also, if you want to know what the tally is, mine was 14 and I don't know if I even got them all.
Was that between the two of us?
No, I had 3 for you if I didn't miss any.
Oh. Oh,
So-
well.
We didn't have quite 20, but
We're not ready for The Bachelor, probably.
not yet. Getting
That's
close. I am.
I can about guarantee you Barb would not like me.
No. No, of course, you would probably tell Barb what you thought about her. And
100%. Bye, Barb.
bye.
All right. See you later.
Seriously, though. See you in the next video.